Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. My name is Taylor, for those of you who may have never been here before. And today, to jump off the new year, start off the new year right, I wanted to talk about the things I would love to see for The Sims 4 in 2022. That is still a really weird concept to me. It is 2022. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 2022. Anyway, I want to talk about 10 things that I would love to see for the game in 2022 and just things I just hope. I have a lot of hope. I'm hoping that 2022 will be the best year of The Sims ever, but like, who knows? Maybe we'll move on to a new one. Who knows? We have no idea what's going to happen this year, and I just have a feeling there's going to be a lot more kits. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about positive things that we're excited about. So the first thing that I absolutely need to see in 2022 is freeing the babies. The babies have been locked up for too long, and they do not deserve this disrespect. I would like for the babies to get freed and to get a Generations pack, but we're not talking about that. We're not talking about Generations, even though I really want it. I really want a Generations pack. I've been playing a lot of The Sims 3 Generations recently, but I think that babies deserve to be freed at this point. They have been locked up since 2014, and they just deserve to be able to move somewhere other than their bassinet. I want to see some things come with this as well, including changing tables, baby baths, just cute stuff, you know? I don't even want kids, but like every time I play with Sims babies, it makes me mad, and I'm just like, can we please get some respect for babies in The Sims 4? The next thing I would like to see is a change from a completely closed world as we have now to at least an open neighborhood system, even though I have a feeling this will never happen. So what this means is in The Sims 3 we had a completely open world where you could go anywhere at any time and your Sims could be off driving down the street and your Sims are still at home and you can play with both of them at the same time. What I really like to see is maybe not that system, because obviously that can't happen in The Sims 4, but open neighborhoods. So if you're at the Crick Cabana lot, you know, you can go over to your neighbor and not have to go through a loading screen. This annoys me a lot because if you go up to their windows and like look into them, you can actually see into their home. So like their home's already loaded a little bit, so why not just have it fully loaded, Herbie fully loaded? Why not? And chances are, if they're your neighbors, these Sims are just walking around outside your house anyway, so you may as well have access to their home, or if you live next to some kind of community lot, I just wish that you were able to go visit without a loading screen. To go along with this, the third thing on my list is cars. I want to be able to drive a car even just around my neighborhood. I want to be able to teach my teens how to drive. I want there to be a car woohoo location for my young adults, and elders. I want you to be able to buy car seats for your babies, and like, so obviously all these things have to come together because I want there to be a baby update so the babies can leave and go into the car. Okay, so bassinet or a regular crib. I want real cribs. But then we like go into a stroller and we like push the baby to the car, or like carry it, but then have a stroller in public, and then you like put the baby in a car seat and then you put the car seat in the car. I need all of those things to happen. It needs to feel real. But I just want to have cars so badly so that your Sims can carpool themselves to work. It is annoying because a lot of the lots in The Sims 4 aren't built on traditional streets, so it doesn't really work as well as it did in past games, so I'm not really sure how that would work. But it'll be interesting if we do ever get cars in this version of the game, but I'm not holding my breath anymore. It's been so many years at this point that it's like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. What are we going on, year 7? What is even happening now? The next thing I would love to have in The Sims 4 is online dating. I have this terrible habit in The Sims 4 where I date Johnny Zest, always. The one guy from, oh my gosh, I cannot remember his name. Is it like Salem or something? From City Living? Him. And I always break up Brant and Brent just because they're like convenient, and if you live in Brindleton Bay, like they always come over. So it's like convenient to just ruin their relationship, which I kind of feel bad about. But I want to be able to easily be exposed to other Sims that I can just like go on a date with or like invite over to my house without issue. But it'd be really nice to be able to have those online dating profiles like The Sims 3 come back into the game, especially because you could like lie on them, which is kind of fun. And just little details like that. I love the idea of a Simder type app. You know, it's just so much fun. And I know that modders have made these things, but I just want this stuff in the real game so that everybody, including console players, have access to it. But it's one of those things, I'm sick of dating Johnny Zest. As much as everyone on this channel knows how much I love Johnny, he is my dream man out of all of the Sims. I don't know why, but I just love him. I think he's cute. Looks a lot like my fiance, but like, that's, anyway, I'm sick of dating him, and I would like to have different baby daddies in The Sims 4 for my families. The next thing on this list is similar to what they did for skin tones. I would really like to see a hair color update that's a lot like that one. I want to have all of those sliders, kind of like the makeup ones, like the sliders with the colors and the opacity and the contrast, like all of those things, but for your hair colors, because honestly, I'm at a point right now in life where I want to dye my hair some crazy color, but I'm terrified. I did promise my sister at 100,000 subscribers I would dye my hair blue, so I'm gonna have to do it at some point, but I would love to be able to at least make like a Sim Self version of me with like blue hair or purple hair or pink hair, whatever I'm feeling in the moment. But I want to be able to do that with different shades. I'm kind of sick of the ones that we have in the game, like they're just not as pretty as I want them to be, and I'd love to see a lot more options for like pastel hair colors as well. So either like a color wheel or some kind of slider system like we have for makeup, I think would be really great in the game. And having different hair color sliders and stuff also just allows for more customization for regular, non-bright, non-vibrant colors, and can get you to be able to have somebody who looks a lot more like you. The next thing on this list is a teen-focused pack. I would like for this to be a game pack, but I doubt it. It'd probably be like a stuff pack or a kit. I'm gonna roll my eyes at kids because we got way too many last year and I'm over it. But I would really like to see something that's just for teens. Just for teenagers. I want to see stuff that they can do on their own. I want them to be able to go to prom. Maybe this is where we get the ability to teach them how to drive when we get cars, and then we get a teen pack and they can learn how to drive. I want them to be able to like start bands in their garage or like have different clubs that are just for teens. Because right now like they can join scouts, but so can kids. You know, I want stuff just for teenagers. Like maybe there's a debate club. I don't know what I'm saying. Especially because debate comes with universities, so that wouldn't really work. But like, you know, different clubs that are just for teenagers. I think that that's so necessary because right now teens feel exactly like adults and young adults and don't have anything that differentiates them except for the fact that they go to school and adults go to work. And that kind of sucks. I want them to have different clubs, maybe different teen-focused hangout areas that are like specific. Why did my brain immediately go to like an ice cream shop? Like what kind of teenagers hang out? I guess like some teenagers go to like froyo places. Okay. Tangent. Did anybody ever just like go to a froyo place, get like this much froyo and then fill it with candy? Because like that's what I would do. And I feel like I paid for that candy. Anyway, teen focus pack. As you can tell, I only recorded 2 videos in the last 2 months, so I'm a little bit like all over the place and my brain wants to talk about a million things a minute. But anyway, let's move on. The next thing, which I know that they're kind of working on, is updated lore. I want there to be more relationships and just interesting facts about these Sims. I want people to have relationships and for the lore to actually matter. So the best example I give for this all the time is the fact that in the bio of Johnny Zest, it says that Johnny is actually the Landgrab's kid, which is interesting because he doesn't even know them. He doesn't know Malcolm Landgrab, he doesn't know Nancy, he doesn't know Jeffrey, like he doesn't even know his own brother or his parent. Like there's no relationships there. Johnny knows no one when you start up the game. So it'd be really nice for Johnny to be able to like live in the same city, you know, the same world as his family and know them, but like maybe have a bad relationship, have some negative sentiments, that kind of thing. I would love to see that. I would also love to see if like Bella Goth had like a weird relationship with Don Lothario because like everyone knows that Bella was last seen in The Sims 2 at Dawn's house. A little bit suspicious. But I want there to be more sentiments and things that are already built into the game. Like when they added sentiments, we got some for the people in Snowy Escape. That took my brain a minute. For everybody that lives in Mount Komorebi, they had sentiments, obviously, because it came with that pack. But like, I want them to be in every world. I want these people to have these relationships and have these interesting things going on. And I just think it would make the world feel a lot more real and a lot more interesting when you start up a new save. Having more lore kind of makes me want to play with the pre-made townies more, which I think would be really fun. Because every time I go in and like make my own families, have my own backstories, just because I'm not too interested in what's going on with these pre-mades. The next thing on my list is the ability to save my own styled looks and delete the ones that EA makes. There's a couple styled looks that I do use once in a while, but most of them I am not a fan of because of like the makeup being weird. Like there's some parts in it or like an accessory that I don't like, and I would like the ability to be able to delete these styled looks and to be able to create my own, because I do have a couple go-to outfits that I absolutely love. And I would love to have them in real life. Honestly, there should be like a Sims to real life like capsule collection that you can go shop. That'd be really fun. But I would really like to be able to save these looks, to just be able to go click, click, click. There's all my favorite outfits. You're dressed beautiful. Especially as somebody who makes videos about The Sims, it's a lot harder to like go in and make Sims for these things. So if I had like a formula of all of my styled looks to choose from, I would absolutely love that. But I would really love, even more than being able to save my own, the ability to delete some of EA's, especially with how many there are for young adult and adult female Sims. Like there's just too many. Now, this thing is something that I don't think we'll ever get for The Sims 4, but it is something I really miss, and that is a create-a-world system. I just want to be able to like make my own vibes, you know? It could even be just like a cookie cutter thing where like everything in the background, all of the trees and everything are created by EA, but I can like plop down my lots wherever I want. I can like make all of the families. I don't want to delete everybody in Willow Creek to be able to like make my own world. I don't know if anybody else feels like that. Like, I just feel bad deleting families that already exist to like create my own. I'm too attached to Sims, I think. I think that's part of the problem. But I'd really like to be able to just create my own world, call it Taylorville, and just have it be like a bunch of me's over and over again, all married to Johnny Zest. That is the dream. I am completely kidding, but that is the dream. But being able to create your own world gets you really connected to these different Sims, and it would just be so nice to be able to do. And the final thing I want for The Sims 4, doesn't really make sense, in 2022 is The Sims 5. I'll be honest, I have been playing a lot of The Sims 4 recently, and I'm kind of just at a point where I am ready to move on entirely. I know that a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't want to move on because I've spent so much money. And as somebody who has personally paid for every single pack for this game, all of the kits, every game pack, expansion pack, stuff pack, everything, I have bought it all. I agree that it is a very expensive game, but I just want to move on to bigger and better things. This is the longest lifespan in the Sims franchise, and I am at a point where I don't want to look at it anymore. As bad as that sounds, I'm just like, I don't know, I need to move on. I would even take like Sims 3 graphics for a different new fun game, and I hate the graphics in The Sims 3. I've been playing a lot of The Sims 3 recently, just for fun, because I think it's hilarious. No. I would take that, just so that we can have something different, good, fun, and fresh, because I'm just at a point where The Sims 4 has lived for too long, you know? It's just been too long. Like, I'm good. Things that I would really like to see in The Sims 5 is everything on this list. Obviously, cars in the base game, pools in the base game, basements in the base game, ghosts in the base game, all of the things, toddlers in the base game, all of the things that weren't in The Sims 4 base game have to be in The Sims 5 base game. And I also feel that everything that's currently in The Sims 4 base game as of now, everything in the base game needs to be in The Sims 5 base game, including like sentiments, all of that kind of stuff needs to be in The Sims 5 base game. All of the build tools, configurable stairs, ladders, all of that should be in the base game of The Sims 5. And I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I feel like if you take away all of those features that have been added in updates to just the base game, I'm not talking about any packs, but to the base game, if you take that away and have a worse base game, you're just going to have The Sims 4 all over again, and everyone's going to be mad. And I don't know if that's just me, but that's how I feel. But there you have it, guys. There are 10 things that I want to see from The Sims team in 2022. What are things that you would like to see? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. Also, Happy New Year to everybody in the entire world. I'm so excited that it's a new year. 2021 was a rough one. It definitely started off rough, got a little better, then got rough again, and I'm just like over it. I'm ready to move on to bigger and brighter things, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on, so I'm just really excited. I hope that you had a wonderful and safe new year, and I'm just so excited to be back filming content for you guys. I really hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.